TG Geeks, episode 201, December 24th, 2018. Aliens and everything else. Hello and welcome to another webcast from tggeeks.com, where Ben and Keith, the two gay geeks, talk about all aspects of geekdom and nerdery. Sci-fi, comics, film, horror genre, you name it, we talk about it. I'm Keith Lane, and we're coming to you from TG Squared Studios in a holly jolly Phoenix, Arizona.
And I'm Ben Raggington, also coming to you from, did you say Neverything?
Neverything.
I thought you said Neverything. Yes, here in Phoenix, Arizona.
And we're going to jump right into it.
Prepare for hyperdrive.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Episodes, we have, up first in the first segment, we have Jeannie Koch.
How appropriate that for 201 we would have Jeannie back.
Yeah, and this one is for everything else that she writes. We've talked to her about the Alien Catherine Kitty Cat series, and this is for everything else, because she is a prolific writer, my God, under many pen names.
If you look up the definition of prolific, you will find her picture.
Exactly. And we have our birthday shout-outs, featured podcast of the week, feedback. We still have feedback.
Oh, lots of it.
And in our second segment, some miscellaneous stuff, weekly recap, and then our follow-up items as always. So let's go right to Jeannie. And here we are once again with the always amazing Jeannie Koch, author extraordinaire. Welcome, Jeannie.
Thank you. That always amazing is just not getting old. I really like it. So, thank you.
Well, you are always amazing.
Thank you.
At least to us.
Thank you.
Whether you are to anybody else or not, you know.
That's their problem.
And then you blow it right there. No follow-up.
Sorry.
No follow-up. Just keep the amazing.
Always amazing, yes. So this time we're going to talk about you have so many other projects and things that you've been just consumed by the Alien series that you haven't been able to get back to some of these other projects. And it's like, oh my God, I've read virtually everything you've written. And it's like, when are you doing another one of these? When are you doing another one of these? And then Ben's favorite.
Happy Acres?
Yeah.
Yes, and you are not the only person that asks for that, which still, it's very rewarding, but it's still, it shocks me how many people ask when the next continuation of the Happy Acres Haunted Home for Active Seniors is coming.
Because that was going to be a one-shot, wasn't it?
It was only supposed to be a one-shot. Way back when I was supposed to anchor an anthology, and they changed the setup, and we said, no. And I pulled the story, and I had this story, and I really had no place to send it. And I thought, you know what, I don't want to let it sit there. Some stories I'm okay letting them sit, and some I'm not. And I wasn't okay letting that one sit. And so I said, I'm just going to self-publish it and see what happens. And people love it, and I'm very happy they do. I mean, that's in no way, shape, or form a complaint. But it was shocking because I didn't realize how much people were going to love it. My agent would like more. Ben is was not the first, and it clearly is not the last, because people ask me about it all the time. When will there be another one?
Do you have any?
So there will be. Maddie is very understanding and knows how behind I am.
Yeah. But she's speaking to you, correct?
They all speak to me.
Yeah.
Every single solitary one.
I'm just wondering, have you managed to kind of take a pulse of the readers that love this and get a sense of why this story is so popular?
I don't want to know. It's more, I don't want it to affect what I write.
Right.
I'm fairly sure. Honestly, I will tell you why I think readers like it. I was having trouble getting into writing the character way back when, and just writing the story. And remember, I think it's due at this time to an anthology. And my critique partner, Lisa DeVicki, said, look, just imagine what Kitty would be like in an old folks' home and go with it.
Ooh, what a thought.
And I think that's why everybody likes it, because Maddie absolutely has Kitty's sass. She's got Kitty's sass, Kitty's attitude, and I think that's what people are responding to. There's a lot of Kitty in there.
Right.
Which, considering that the Alien series, the Alien Catherine Kitty Cat series, that we're referring to anytime we talk about Kitty, that's not the first thing I ever wrote. That's just the thing that got me an agent and publishing. That's what got me a career, but it isn't the first thing I ever wrote. And so there's a lot, to be honest, there's a lot of Belle in everyone. And Belle is from the Legend of Belladonna. Natural Born Outlaws is available right now from Graphic Audio, and it is the first in a planned, 3 to 9 books, depending, series of novels set in the Old West, and it's only in audio right now. But Graphic Audio does a wonderful job. They call it a movie in your mind, and they're not wrong.
Indeed.
And Belle is the reason I write.
Yeah, and Happy Acres is only 55 pages, so it's...
Oh, I read it in like what, a couple of hours.
A short story, really-ish?
Yeah.
It's a novelette. It's a novelette.
Yeah, it's not even a novella.
It is a novelette. And
what do you say as a short story? What's a novelette? What's a...
Yeah, so Legend of Belladonna is, if people want to know where the start of everything is, that is what Belle and Preacher convinced me to write.
Cool.
And so that's Kitty will always matter to me because Kitty gave me a career, but Belle is who I am the most protective of, because Belle is the whole entire reason I write.
Right.
Now, a lot of what you've written has a female protagonist, and yes, okay, everybody, you can start the mocking. I did recently read Nightbeat. Yes, I am way past my time. Okay, let the mocking begin.
Okay. I'm going to start because it took you forever to read this.
Exactly. 3 years, as a matter of fact.
My bad.
Longer. No, it took him way longer than 3 years. So.
Okay, so get it out of your system anyway. All right, because the thing that I noticed is that your chief character in that, Vic, she's also she's kind of a sassy character as well.
In her own way, yes, she is.
I mean, it's not the same as Kitty, but she's definitely a strong female character, no question about it.
Yes, she is. Way back when, and again, all of these things can go back to the Legend of Belladonna. I try to write weak female characters, and I literally cannot do it. I can make them like a supporting character, as long as it's a supporting character that my heroine doesn't have to particularly like, but I cannot do it. I cannot write wimpy women. I hate them, and I hate the characters, therefore, and I just can't do it.
Nothing wrong with
that.
I
don't.
Well, I've noticed that with a lot of your novels, at least, everything's in a first person.
Not everything, and not every novel.
Everything that I've read thus far has been first person.
Because Legend of Belladonna is on audio, I don't know if you guys have gotten that yet, but that is not first person.
Although that's next on my list.
That's third. And when I was first writing, I wrote nothing in first person. When I was coming up in the ranks, so to speak, the conventional wisdom was that first person didn't sell. We'll all pause when everybody laughs hysterically because it does, okay? But, that was the conventional wisdom.
Some of the best books that I've read...
I ignored it.
I mean, literally, the best books that I have read have all been first person.
Yes, but it takes craft on on everything, okay, but first person takes a different kind of craft than third.
Right.
And some of that, first person done badly is bad. Third person done badly is bad. Bad writing is bad writing, and that differs for each person too. What one person thinks is terrible, another person thinks is the greatest thing they've ever read. So, art is extremely subjective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
and so that was a general consensus, but I just was doing better in terms of first. But not every story is a first-person story. It just so happens that a lot of the ones that you've read from me are. I'm now extremely comfortable in first person as well. So because I've written so much in it, so that tends to make it a little more, a little simpler for me.
Would that be would that be a
simpler.
reason why your female protagonists are so strong? Do you think?
No, they're strong. They're strong because I literally can't write a female protagonist that isn't.
Yeah.
I literally cannot do it. And like I said, I keep going back to Belle because she is my first. That is why she matters so much to me. She is the reason. She and Preacher are the reason I write. The voices in my head got so loud and so insistent that I finally wrote. I'd had story ideas all my life, but I was told by a teacher when I was 15, who at 15 I knew was an idiot. Didn't matter. She said the only way you can write is to outline, and that's true for, term papers and business proposals, but it's not necessarily true for art. But I believed her, and so for literally 20 years I tried to outline, and I'd come up with nothing. And without the personal computer, I probably still would have come up with nothing. But I concluded that I could not write. And until these voices were so loud and so insistent that I just thought, I'll just write it down, it'll be terrible, and then it'll be done. And I looked up 8 hours later, and I had 200 pages because I type very fast.
Right.
And I've never looked back. So... But Belle has always been strong, even in the terrible first iterations that need to be burned before anyone can ever. If I die suddenly, these things have to go. But Belle's always been strong, and I've tried to write weaker characters, and I just, from a female standpoint, I just literally cannot do it.
Yeah.
So that's why, because I can't write anything but strong women.
Well, I will
Nothing
say
wrong with that.
That everything I've read. I haven't read the Belladonna things, but everything else that was in print or available whenever I started reading, I've read, and I haven't read anything that I didn't like.
No, thank you.
Including all the short stories and everything else. It's incredible. You have this knack for engaging me, which is kind of an unusual thing.
Well, I appreciate that, and it helps that I write under several different pen names.
Right. So among
like obviously, Legend of Belladonna is by A.E. Stanton.
Right.
Some others, my paranormal collection, The Disciple and Other Stories, is by me writing as Gemma Chase. I write horror as J.C. Koch. The Alexander Outland series is by me as G.J. Koch,
which I adore.
And thank you. Yeah, I like Knapp. I want to get. I have been late for what feels like so long on deadline that it's just taken forever to get back to Knapp and Victoria and even Edie and
there's 2 books in that
Roy.
series right now, correct?
Pardon?
There's 2 books in that series, right?
Which one?
The Alexander Outland.
No, book 2 is...
No. What is the other one? There's... the Martian Chronicles.
The Martian Alliance Chronicles,
right.
Yes. Those, actually, there are 3. There's,
Holy crap.
There's 3 installments and 1 collection of that. And I am working on installment 4. The new that's by me as Ginny Koch. The New West, which is by me as A.E. Stanton, that has 2 installments, and I'm working on the 3rd one. My copious spare. Night Music is somewhere between a third and a halfway done, and that's the next in the Office and Force Files. And then Alexander Outland's Space Avenger, the follow-up to Alexander Outland's Space Pirate, is probably about a quarter done.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then there's others. I have 3 mystery series I want to launch. So.
Wow.
Good God.
Yes.
How do you have time to watch television and write for our website?
My editor would like to know.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just have to take a break and think and rest, and my husband occasionally likes to do things with me, and so forth. So that's why.
Yeah, and as you said,
and honestly, writing for TG Geeks is very helpful for me because it's not the same kind of pressure, but it gets me writing. So a lot of times I'll do 2 or 3 reviews, and then boom, I'm back to the books because I've had the opportunity to still be writing, but take a kind of a mental break.
Right.
So are you saying that writing for our website is like the equivalent of a brain enema?
No, no, I would never say that.
She'd never say that. No, she might think it, but she'd never say it.
It's a cleansing, though. It cleans out the cobwebs, shall we say?
It does. It allows me to be writing, which is very important because you want the habit of writing. And so it allows me to do that without any kind of, is this perfect pressure?
Right.
It does it there. For the most part, everything I'm writing is a critical review.
Right.
I don't have to be perfect. There is no right or wrong. There is, if only I'd said it this way. It doesn't really matter in the same way. So, it's much less pressure.
Right.
And yet it's still writing so that I am also, getting words done and then revved up to get the creative words done.
Well, and as you said, you type very fast, so
I do.
Some of those things,
extremely fast typer.
let's take a coffee break or a tea break or
I'm going to take a break or some of the movie reviews I do for you guys. I just watched the movie, and so it's fresh. And some of them, it's like I watched that movie a month ago, and I've got to look, or 2 months ago, I got to look on IMDb to remember what the heck that it was about. And usually, those are the ones I didn't like that much.
Yeah.
That I didn't hate, that just didn't like that much, and they didn't compel me to race. The ones I really don't like, I tend to get compelled to write about right away.
I have to tell the world about this crap.
How much this thing really sucks.
Pretty much run away. So yeah. But not all. I mean, there's some that I really, really like that I haven't done. There's some that I've hated that I've taken my time to do. But for the most part, if I really didn't like it, I'm probably writing about it right away, so I never have to think about it again.
Okay. Well, there it is.
Yeah. Now you know my process on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm trying to think. There's other. I'm supposedly working on my next humor collection too. The excerpts that are up at TG Geeks are from Random Musings from the Funny Girl.
Yeah,
and
some of those are just hilarious.
Some of them are really funny. This the bit about the refrigerator I just loved.
About which one?
The refrigerator.
Oh, the refrigerator. Here's the thing, though. They're all true. No one believes me, but these are actually. There's one section where most of the stories are made up, but otherwise, all the stories are true. They really have.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, reading everything that you said about the black refrigerator is like, yeah, I can see her doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just you.
I can see it.
Yeah.
You have to know Genie,
and there really is a Kiki. That has I haven't done any Kiki reference for you guys yet, but I will be doing so.
Oh, I
and
can't
the
wait.
Misadventures of Kiki. There's a real Kiki. Yeah, actually, Kiki is who Kiki is varies, but Kiki is always someone who's a friend of mine. So all the Kiki stories are also all true. So those are fun, and I like writing the humor shorts because it's being funny in a different way.
Right.
So it's but since I have to be funny all the time with the Alien series, and also with my 3 main series, all are funny. The Martian Lion Chronicles is also supposed to be funny. So it's like I've got a lot happy. Anything else I'm doing, if it is a short story, if I'm writing it as Jenny Koch or GJ Koch, it's supposed to be funny or at least humorous. So it's nice to write as J.C. Koch and do horror, Gemma Chase and do paranormal, and A.E. Stanton and do novels set in the Old West or dystopian science fiction, usually in an Old West setting. So it's nice to be able to do that because then I don't have to be hilarious. And Anita Ensal is more thoughtful than funny. So that's all nice because then I get to, kind of, not have to be thigh-slappingly hilarious all the time. Because comedy is hard.
Right.
Dying is easy. Comedy is hard. It's very hard to make you laugh. And like I say, it's very hard the hardest part is I've just killed a character you love, and now I have to make you laugh 3 pages later.
Oh, yeah. I seem to remember that in one of the Alien books. Yeah, Keith and I were in tears.
That would be book 8. That would be book 8.
Is that where you killed everybody?
Things Gotta Happen, kids. Okay, Things Gotta Happen. That's that book. The Things Gotta Happen book. That's book 8. Yeah.
I remember a poof being killed, and I was a wreck.
You are not. That is a spoiler that you should not be admitting to, sir. So
sorry.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Hopefully, there's no kitty listeners.
Alien research. So
but let's just say I was in tears, and so was Keith. We were both a mess.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be, honestly. That's the thing. Killing a red shirt rarely means anything.
They're cannon
just showing you the situation is serious, but it's not somebody you were attached to. That's why those red shirts are always just a day before retirement or about to get married or brand new newlyweds.
Right.
Because it's the only way you can care is they were just about to retire or they were just about to go live their life with their beloved. Because people are afraid to kill a major character. Understandably, okay, it's difficult to do. So when there's a point where if you don't lose somebody who matters, then your books aren't real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're not actually. It's like how like NCIS or Grey's Anatomy, they'll tout, a major character is going to die, and you're like, that wasn't a major character. I didn't even like that person. Okay, yeah. I don't care, right?
They just made their debut last episode. What the hell is this all about?
Yeah, who cares, right? Or it's not somebody that anyone gave a rat's about, right?
Right.
That is cheap, okay? And you can do that a couple of times. Okay, but you can't do it constantly because then it's like, they're in danger, yawn, right? Because it doesn't feel real because it isn't. Mm-hmm. Okay, because bad things happen to good people. So in order to make that happen, you got to kind of, things got to happen.
Yeah.
People you care about have to die. And that I got to tell you, I spent most of Alien research calling my crit partner, going, I don't know, kill them all. That was her answer. Kill them all.
Kill them all.
Okay, kill them all. Well, because if it wasn't, then kill them all. I'm only killing a couple, right? It's better than that. But she knew it's got to happen. 8 books in, somebody important that you care about more than as a tertiary character needs to care. Mm-hmm. And I would also say that once you read book 10, Universal Alien, and for those people that go back and do a reread, I feel that once you've read book 10, events in book 1 have a lot more gut punching because now
exactly
very well someone who dies early.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
True.
So with all of this other stuff, and I know that you're,
mm-hmm.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but
but you're going to.
Well, no, I just mildly. I know you've got to get Aliens Like Us out.
Yes.
But then, can we expect something from the the other stuff soon, or next year, or 2 years, or 5 years, or it's never going to happen?
I've stopped giving you dates because every date has just sailed past, laughing at me merrily as I go. So we're not going to give dates. However, well, kind of. I'm trying to get the Alien Collection, which is a collection of short stories set in the Alien multiverse, out for December. Whether that happens or not is dependent on a lot of things, but that's the goal.
Yeah.
I also I am, in no particular order, I really want to get Night Music, which is Necropolis Enforcement Files, done. I want to get Alexander Outland Space Avenger done. I want to get Doctor Wu, which is the 4th installment in the Martian Alliance Chronicles, done. I want to get the Deacon of Desert Springs, which is the 3rd installment of the New West series, done. I want to get the next book in the Legend of Belladonna done, because Graphic Audio would like to see it.
Yeah.
So, it's almost impossible for me to say when now at this point, mostly just because I've just been so late. I'm tired of saying dates that don't happen. But they're all priorities for me, and I still have short stories that need to get written, that I want to write, and that, really you guys want me to write, because that's how you get people like Maddie from, Happy Acres Haunted Hotel, or Beth and Missy from Missy the Were Pomeranian versus the Masters of Mediocre Doom. And that's how those characters show up, is many times in a short story, and then I can go, I rather like that. Maybe I can do them again. So...
So you're saying that you have enough material to write until you're 187.
Easily, yeah. I have more story ideas than I'll probably ever be able to write in my lifetime. Yeah. Ideas are a dime. To me, here's the thing. People are like, ooh, ideas. Ideas are a dime a dozen. There's nothing. We are talking on an idea, okay? We are communicating through a variety of ideas. Ideas are nothing. That's, to my mind, much more than opposable thumbs. What sets humans apart from the other mammals is that we are getting ideas for something more than food, shelter, mating.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so ideas, big whoop, they're a dime a dozen. It's the execution of the ideas that sets you apart and makes your idea something that matters. So in that sense, I want to be executing. And it's one of those things that I am, I've got so many ideas, I can execute a lot, but I have things that are due.
Right.
And deadlines come first, and then the pressing needs later. And honestly, we've changed my publication schedule for the Alien series in no small part because I was late on the last 4 books. And it was kind of killing me. If you can never catch up, then you can never breathe, and you can never rest, and you can never take a break. I love Kitty, and I will write her until I cannot write any longer or no one cares anymore. And then I might still write her because I care. But I like a break from her in between books.
You want to have a life? Is it what?
No, not even a life. I mean, I have forced myself after book 7. Where I had tremendous bad burnout because I didn't allow myself to have a life. I was still late. Okay, that was through no fault of my own. That was because of Hurricane Sandy, and what it did to production schedules. But I literally was, I didn't write for 6 weeks, and that 6 weeks cost me, and I'm never doing that again. I actually have a life.
Right.
I want the break mentally. I want to write somebody else, especially horror, because I don't have to make you laugh at all, or anything by Anita Ensel or A.E. Stanton, just because they're never, I joke, A.E. Stanton does not have a sense of humor he is aware of, because I think of him as a man. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's my head, but I still think of him as a man. And so I want to be able to write one of their books or short stories, right, because it gives me a break from being really funny. And the hardest part is that everything's due and late really is funny. And so I have to leap from one sense of humor to a different sense of humor to the same sense, it's just, I just want to kill something.
Right.
Which is why horror is so great, because you can. But that's where I get to that point where it's like, I just do not want to have to make anybody chuckle. So I need that break, because then I can come back and Kitty's funnier.
Right.
As opposed to, good gosh, oh golly my, have I recycled this joke? I don't think I've recycled this joke, but it's like, I can't tell. So I think I'm better if I get a break.
Well, with all of that, and with all these books that you've described, and all the other pen names that you've given yourself, or that you've been assigned, how can people find all of these works of yours?
All of these works are available pretty much everywhere, but it's easiest to find them from my website, www.ginnykoch.com, and that's Ginikoch. And my bibliography page is pretty up to date. We're probably missing a couple things, but it's mostly up to date. And you can find me as Gemma Chase, Jemma Chase, Anita Ensal, Ensal, A.E. Stanton, J.C. Koch, and G.J. Koch. So, but all of those you can connect through via my main website.
Very nice. And
you can find me.
And as far as social media goes, the Twitters and the Facebooks.
Okay, Facebook, I am there as Ginny Koch. I also have a fan page, Ginny Koch, Hairspray and Rock and Roll. I also have another fan page, author Ginny Koch. So Facebook, very easy to find me. Twitter, I'm at Ginny Koch, no underscore. There is another Ginny Koch. She's German and she's awesome, and she is Ginny _Koch. If you happen to get her, she will very kindly explain that she's the wrong one and send you over to me. So no fear.
Right.
I am also on Pinterest as Ginny Koch, and if you want to see who I envision the characters to look like or who I think could play them, that's the place to go. And I supposedly am on Instagram. Please don't bother. I can't make it work. So, I'm too old apparently for Instagram.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm way too old for Tumblr. I love reading Tumblr posts, but I'm like way too old to even figure out how that works. So, I just enjoy the wit. But yeah, I think those are the main areas: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and I'm on Goodreads there as well. So if you have questions, they have a question function, and so forth. So
there it is then.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Jeannie, for being on the show again.
Thank you for having me again. I want to ensure that that no one ever can beat my how many times I've been on record.
I don't. So.
Not at this
It's impossible at this point.
Good. That's my
except
goal.
For us.
Except
for us.
No one can touch my. I'm number one. No one can touch me.
There you go. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Ginny Koch, author of the Alien Catherine Kitty Cat series from Daw Books, part of Penguin Random House, and you are listening to the Two Gay Geeks Webcast.
That'll never get old.
Yeah, that was
from the drinking episode.
That was from the drinking episode. Yes, she was here in studio with us, and we'd had like several bottles of wine
before we did the show, and then drinking while doing the show.
And so
it was pretty festive.
That's why we had the Webcast. Thank you, Jeannie. That was a great interview.
Oh, we had so
I always
much fun.
love talking to Jeannie, and it's great that she's on board as a contributor.
Absolutely.
As well. So here's a few selected birthdays for December 24th through December 30th. 2018, December 24th, Howard Hughes.
No relation to my family.
Yeah, and Michael Curtiz. He is the one that directed White Christmas.
Oh,
and
okay.
Also Gene Turnbow. Happy birthday, Gene,
Happy birthday,
from
Gene.
Krypton Radio. December 25th, Rod Serling.
Imagine if you will.
Yes, Conrad Hilton, Quentin Crisp, and Natalie Wright. December 26th, Jared Leto and Chris Daughtry. December 27th, Louis Pasteur and Johannes Kepler. He was named after a telescope.
Somebody saw this Kepler telescope and said,
hey,
I
that's
am
a
so
great
impressed
name.
by that, I'm going to name my kid after that.
Yeah. We always have to do that.
Yeah.
December 28th, Stan Lee.
Oh, you left us.
Just short of his 96th birthday. Yeah. Maggie Smith, Linus Torvalds, who is the inventor of Linux operating system. And Nichelle Nichols. And my cousin Kevin Falconberry and Jen Chavez. Happy birthday,
Jen.
Jennifer. Yeah. December 29th, Jude Law, Diego Luna, who you were trying to think of.
That's what I was trying to think of.
The episode or two ago.
Yeah.
And Pablo Casals, famed cello player. December 30th, we have Rudyard Kipling, Paul Stuckey.
Oh, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yep. Dmitry Kabalevsky, who was a composer, and Sam Holdren. Happy birthday, Sam. And that's it for the birthdays this time.
Technorama, the podcast for geeks, because geeks are better than cool. You don't hear someone say, "Get away from me, you cool person." Who's gonna have their 65-inch home theater system installed by the Cool Squad? Not me, that's for sure. How much cool cred do you have? Not enough to care about. Think you'll find any canned unicorn meat at thinkcool.com? It's just a part domain name. They don't even have roadkill in a paper cup. That's why you need to start listening to Technorama, because that's what geeks do. Go to chuckchat.com and listen to Technorama before you turn cool.
Go give a listen to our friends Chuck and Craig over at Technorama. Rama. And now, it's time for a little feedback, or a lot of feedback, or some feedback. Lot? Little? Some?
A bit. Quite a bit, actually.
Still catching up on the feedback.
We had lots.
We had way
lots
too much.
of feedback.
We'll be finished before December 7th, is that right? Or
no.
maybe on December 7th.
I doubt it.
Oh, well.
Anyway, starting off with, Ro did her own review of Bohemian Rhapsody. She said that it leaves too much bio out of the pick. And we got a comment from my oldest friend, Corey Nelson. She says, I can totally see Rami Malek as Freddy. He did a great job with his Mr. Robot role. It is not just his look, but his demeanor overall. Thanks for a helpful review. I'm considering seeing this movie now that I have read your feedback. And we got a comment from Hamish Downey. Now, he says, I know Adam J. Yeend I know Adam J. Yeend reckons the Live Aid performance is Oscar-worthy, but I worry that it's going to be very straight-washed. Now, let me clarify. Adam J. Yeend is an actor, and we saw him in an independent horror film called The Brentwood Strangler. And I say that because he responds with, if you call visiting gay leather bars, male-to-male bathroom hookups, and hitting on guys straight-washed, then yeah, it's straight-washed. They don't shy away from anything, and keeping it PG-13 or M-rated just means things are clearly alluded to. I don't need to see the sex in the bathroom to know he just had sex with a dude. Same with the cocaine on the table. The film was developed by the band, and even under Freddie's wishes when he was alive. Their music is for everyone, and the film does his life and their music justice. I was really moved by it. And then there was another comment. He says, this straight-washing notion, where did it come from? Because of a movie trailer? That's not the whole film. Well, Hamish responds with, Adam, that's what I've been hearing a lot of, and yes, mostly from the trailer. My worry with it being banned approved was that it was going to really sanitize everything, but it seems like they haven't. The Yves Saint Laurent film Paul and I saw at Cannes was so scared of sacrificing the sacred cow, that is YSL in France, they shied away from the film's most interesting parts, even in the unauthorized version. So I was a bit worried about this one. Well, our critic author Rowe She says, the band sanitized portrayals of their personal lives, but not Freddie's. Malik portrays him with the attitude and a flair that can in no way be considered an attempt to straighten him up. He doesn't always physically have the same heft of Mercury, but he had the sinewy grace and grit he's known for, and I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Then we have, there was 3-episode thoughts for the Magnum P.I. that came from Jeannie Koch. Now, Corey Nelson had to chime in on this because she is a diehard fan of the original Magnum P.I. with Tom Selleck. So she says, growing up watching shows like the original Magnum P.I., which I loved, granted, it was not the most serious television fare, but what was back then?
Exactly.
But fun action and likable characters. The interaction of Magnum and Higgins was great, and yes, the Dobermans Zeus and Apollo were a great addition, and not without their own character. This reboot is lighter for sure. The interaction between the new Magnum and Higgins is immature in its development, and I worry stilted for good. The framework of the old show was there. Compelling characters are not. We're still recording it and watching when nothing else is available. Ooh,
oh dear,
that's harsh.
When nothing else is
available, and we feel like light story without need to deeply following the show overall. Corey, this is a really well written comment. Have you thought about being a contributor to our website? Daggum, I really liked your commentary. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then she comes back with another one. This time it was on Space 1999, a retrospective, or What Happened in Season 2. And Corey writes, The Martian was ahead of its time for us. We loved the show as people tried to survive and thrive in a new world, in this case the moon, as much as Mark Watney was doing the same on Mars. Good fun. I would agree with that for Season 1, but definitely not Season 2. Season 2 is just garbage. And now, there was another review from Ro, this time for the movie Can You Ever Forgive Me? And your favorite sister, Lynn, writes, I've thought about wanting to watch this movie, but even after the review, still can't decide. Good review read, though. Then we had Dr. Zombie, Monster Family Physician number 21, and it was very kaiju related. And Tommy had to chime in and say it was Godzilla's birthday, so it seemed fitting.
Yeah.
And it was.
Why not?
Absolutely. And then we ran a little press release a couple of weeks ago, actually, about how the TG Geeks are in the top 10% of global tracked websites.
We're in the top 9 now.
Now top 9, yes, since this printing.
Probably more.
We might be in the 8.
At the airing of this.
I know, we might be in 8% by the time this airs. So we got a comment again from Corey Nelson. She says, super exciting news. Congratulations to 2 people that work so hard on their passion for the people striving to make their art forms successful. Glad that many more people are appreciating your drive and your content. Then I got a comment from Cheek Art Public Relations that was started by Patricia Cheeker herself. We heard from her in episode 200. She said, we are so proud of our friends, the TG Geeks at TG Squared Studios. Keith Lane and Ben Raggington are 2 of the most dedicated, kind, generous, and most of all, clever reporters of everything that has to do with the world of geek culture and genre cinema. We couldn't be more happy for them as they reach this milestone. Wow.
Thank you.
Dedicated, kind, generous, and clever?
Wow. Who's she talking about?
I said, not me. That's for darn sure. Then got a comment from Neil Halford. And he says, congratulations to our friends over at TG Geeks who have hit a major milestone. Yay. Then I got another comment from Jennifer Kapesh. This is a friend I went to high school with. She said, that is really wonderful. Great work, guys. Hamish Downey comes back with amazing. Again, get a little love heart sign after that. And then Jeannie Koch, we heard from earlier, she says, Yahoo!
No, we're not hosted by Yahoo anymore. It's GoDaddy.
It's GoDaddy, no kidding. But somehow that just does not make for a really great exclamation.
Yeah.
You know,
GoDaddy!
Oh, dear.
Oh, my.
Yeah, okay. Somehow that just doesn't work.
Your Freudian slip is showing.
Wow.
Go, Daddy, go.
Go, Daddy, go. Okay. Yeah, what show is this again? Yeah, one that's about to get an explicit tag if we keep going down that. And then lastly, got a comment from Keith Byron, a good friend of ours, and he simply writes, congrats. And that's our feedback for this week, and thank God, because any further, we might get that explicit tag.
Yeah. Well, thank you to everybody that has left a comment on our website or on any of the social media options that we have. And those are a Facebook page. You can leave comments there. You can leave comments on Twitter, on Instagram, or even on the website at the bottom of each article.
YouTube.
YouTube. I keep forgetting YouTube, yeah. And also at the bottom of each episode, we have a place to comment. We want to hear from you, good, bad, or indifferent. Please share those comments with us. You can
Just
even
like these people did.
Yeah, you can even call and leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on air.
Please,
Call 469 TG Geeks. That is 469-844-3357. Yes, that was the little voice of our voicemail box saying, "Please call me and leave a message."
Please,
and help me.
help me.
And always remember, when you leave a comment, please play nice.
Yeah, baby. They're like two gay geeks. They're together, you know. They're two gay guys and they're geeks. Is that okay?
Well, we don't have a whole lot.
No, we don't.
For this second.
Because as we've said for the last several episodes, we're recording this early. This is still the weekend before Thanksgiving when we're doing this.
So because we're on vacation, we do want to say happy holidays to everybody, no matter what you celebrate. This happens to be Christmas Eve for those that celebrate that that holiday. But Hanukkah has come. There's Kwanzaa to come. There's Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh, that's so clever.
Hey, I just thought that up.
Did you really?
I did.
Wow. Did you?
I did.
Did you?
But we got some good things in store for the next episode, and also in the upcoming year we're going to switch things up a little bit, change the theme on the website. So
just to make it pop a little bit more.
The time between Thanksgiving and when we come back with our regular episodes is not going. I mean, we'll be on vacation and we'll have we actually have a real vacation coming up. But
we're not running away from the website. We're not
running away from the website. We're actually probably going to be. I'll be spending a lot of time trying to see what themes might work, because we're going to change the theme up on the website, make it a little more prettier.
Yeah, we had some interesting little comment from Ro. She was talking to some people down in California, and there's some interesting personnel down there that were looking at us.
Yeah,
so we thought, maybe we need to maybe we can change the website up a little bit so that we can get better traction.
Yeah, I think we've found a theme that kind of works and really looks good and is the next step in our...
just needs tweaking.
Yeah, in our evolution, shall we say. Probably, I think I'm going to look up some more... sound bites and things that we can use and
freshen things up a bit.
Freshen things up a little bit. So I think that we got some really good things. There's some wonderful things coming up. The next episode is going to be an incredible interview. The next several episodes are going to be really incredible.
We've got
interviews.
some great people
stuff
scheduled
in the can and lined up. So stay tuned for new and exciting TG Geeks in the new year. And that's it for the stuff that we have there. Where's my thing? Oh, here we go.
I'm Daniel Radcliffe, and I believe that reaching out for help is the bravest thing a person can do. If you are struggling and need support, call the Trevor Lifeline at 1-866-488-7386. It's free and confidential, and trained counsellors are there to listen 24/7 without judgment. To learn more about the Trevor Project's life-saving work for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or questioning young people, go to thetrevorproject.org.
I know that we say this every time, and we play
it's
this
important.
in every episode, but it is extremely important. I read an article that said it's the 5th leading cause of death. Suicide is the 5th leading cause of death in the U.S. now, and that's
it's unthinkable.
Unthinkable. And the holidays are especially stressful for people. And I just want to say, if you are in crisis or you know somebody that is in crisis, please, please, please reach out to somebody. The Suicide Prevention Hotline, the Trevor Project. There's lots of resources, people that will not judge you, people that can help you and with these feelings of whatever those feelings are that make you want to do something drastic. Please, please, please reach out. It does get better.
Mm-hmm.
In this weekly recap, we had a Dr. Zombie and an episode and a new sushi.
That's it.
The rest of the week,
who knows? No idea. We have content. Trust us, there will be things running those days. We just don't know what they are.
We've got most of it slammed into WordPress, but we haven't scheduled it all yet. So, and just so you know, that content is going to be, since we're in the holiday season, most of them are going to be holiday films or something that has some loose relationship to the holidays, and some of them are really offbeat.
Well, I know
some
two
snarky.
I know two that are coming down the pike that I just scratch my head thinking I don't know what the relation to the holidays are with those.
Anyway,
but they're there.
They're there. So as always, we have follow-up items. Check out the widgets on the right-hand side of the page. We got lots of books and lots of people that we support and lots of causes we support. And speaking of support, we support Arizona Opera, and they have a really exciting second half of the season starting in January with La Traviata. So go check them out, azopera.org. Check out our restaurant reviews. It's a new category for us. We got several reviews out there. You can just click on the menu and the drop down and find restaurant reviews and take a look. And as everybody knows, or if you don't know, we are huge supporters of independent creators, whether it's filmmakers, comic book artists, writers, or other. We look at them and we are in awe because I have no creative bone in my body.
Well, the talent that these people have,
amazing.
It's almost a crime that they don't get the recognition that is their due. So they've gone the only route they can, and that's independent, and that's why we give them the spotlight, because they deserve it.
There is some wonderful talent out there. You'll see them at book fairs and book everything and cons and festivals and this and that and the other. Go look at their stuff. I mean, all of the stuff. I mean, whatever it is, walk by their booth. You might find something that you like. And if you do, please pay with cash. They don't need that credit card expenses. So please support independent creators.
Special shout out to the Doctor Who Fan Cast Guide, the Bionic Semi-Diurnal Aggregator, and the Arkle Times Post Dispatch News. These are paper dot lees, and they are published by Doctor Who Talking Who, Michael C. Burgess, and the Human Arkle. You can find them by first searching at Talking Who, for the Semi-Diurnal Aggregator at Bionic, that is Byronik, and the Human Arkles, you can find him by searching ARKLE on Twitter. Also, he is on YouTube with the Shameless Cash Grab. Just go to YouTube and search Arkle Studios, all in one word, and you can find it there. Then we also must give a shout out to the Facebook group, The Gay Geek, for allowing us to post our episodes on their page. Their URL is thefacebook.com/group/thegaygeek. I said thefacebook.com. Yes, I did.
Facebook.
Yeah. With special with special thanks to the moderator, the Jeremiah, the Reeves.
Yes, thanks, Jeremiah, and thank you to everybody that has clicked on our Amazon ads. It puts a few cents in our pocket every once in a while. And lastly, we are now on Spotify. You can find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of the places where you can find finer podcasts.
Places we don't even know about.
Exactly. And you can hear a replay on Krypton Radio at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on Tuesdays. Please go to iTunes and rate us and review us, and go to YouTube channel and subscribe. Up next time.
Oh, this is a goodie.
Oh, this is a really good one.
This was a great interview.
A great interview with Billy Clift and David Milburn, the filmmakers of A Long Road to Freedom. The Advocate celebrates 50 years. It is an incredible interview.
Oh, man. I had chills talking to them.
Yeah, We talked about this previously, I think, when we talked to Alexander Rodriguez, but we definitely talk about it here, that we've kind of become accidental activists. So please check this out. I mean, it's really good. There's some really good historical information in there. So check it out. Okay, that should do it for this episode of TG Geeks Webcast. Be sure to check out the article for this webcast episode. We're going to have several links on the page. And remember, you can comment on our Facebook page or our website, tggeeks.com. Or you can leave us a voicemail at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. From TG Squared Studios, I'm Keith Lane. Thanks for listening. Please be kind to yourself and those around you. Peace.
Cheers.